Hello everybody! We're finally past the technical issues. Welcome back to Nukeshot Media and the Nukeshot Endurance Series North America Tour, here live at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. I am Zokyo, your commentator as per usual, and joining me in the booth today with a new headset, it's this guy that we're currently watching. Say hello, Myth.
Hello.
He'll be our on-track correspondent of sorts. We'll be checking in on him every now and again.
Yep. I'll be talking during practice mostly, but you can check up on me during the race. It's whatever. Maybe not during qualifying.
Yeah, maybe not now either, because we sort of just saw you spin out. But
Don't mind that.
yeah, let's move
That
on
didn't
from
happen.
that. So
Jeez.
yeah, we've just been having some difficulties with getting the live stream up and running, but that's up now. Also, last week the servers were acting up again, so we had to delay to this week. But things seem that they are working fine now. So apologies for all of the ensuing chaos that will be occurring. Here we are then at Laguna Seca. Most amount of laps of this particular calendar, it's going to be 28 laps. And we're expecting dry weather, of course, given there is no rain for this particular circuit in the game.
No rain for the entire season.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Event sponsor
Fortunately.
Firestone, thanks to I believe it's Team Capital that came up with that one, so thanks for that. I think we're coming up to the start of Group 4 qualifying, so I'll get us underway for that shortly. Got a decent turnout as well today. We've currently got 9 cars on circuit. I believe quite a few of those are of the Group 4 category. They see the likes of Lugi driving one of the Nukeshot cars. They see Taters in the Genesis, and Myth, of course, in the Viper. Octavian returning in the Peugeot RCZ. Zephonius is back as well in the Renault. Another Mazda 3, that is of John Wandering. Joe of the Fire's here, Houdini's here, and GTO is here. And who knows, we may be seeing some more on the way soon. Just
One notable name that isn't in the lobby currently, and I don't think he's going to be in the race, is Maro.
true. Mauro and also Dominic
Yeah.
Kubinski. Neither of
Yeah,
those are
him too.
currently here, which is a shame.
So we might see a new winner this race. Not me, unfortunately.
Okay, we're going to reset for the Group 4 qualifying. They're going to have 2 minutes to apply their setups and then 5 minutes for the actual running. So we'll see how that goes for them.
Looking in the chat, we have 2 people here. John Wandering telling you that nobody cares. And,
Oh, that's a regular occurrence.
yeah. And someone named Flipsy saying, go, 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 Octavian. So we've got some Octavians fans in the chat.
I think he was on about having some viewers there, so thanks for tuning in.
He's got his own fan club that's coming in today in the chat.
Typical. So, if you're looking forward to the race, again, be sure to leave a like and consider subscribing for the rest of the season. That's always appreciated. It's a 5-round championship. This is round 2, of course. Round 1 is also on the channel, so watch that after this if you are so inclined. There's currently just the 2 cars on the circuit for Group 4 qualifying. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Probably people just making setup changes.
Yeah, but they need to
They're
be on
applying
the
those.
circuit for that to apply.
Oh, well, I know the game.
Oh well. In terms of lap times, I'm not too sure what we'd expect for these Group 4s, but we're probably going to get 2 or 3 flying laps. Once we get to 2 minutes on this particular marker here, that the arrow is showing on screen, that will be the start of qualifying, and then 5 minutes after that, so when that gets to 7 minutes, that will be the checkered flag. Lugi has died, apparently. A screen issue or something?
It's also very cold in this commentary box. AKA my bedroom.
Qualifying is live. Cars will be going on
Lugi's
to
on
their
track,
outlaps.
so maybe whatever he had is solved.
Zephanius, interestingly enough, is going for mediums in qualifying. I'm not too sure what the thinking behind that is. It's going to be Joe the Fire that leads them out, one of the two TSR cars in this category. And I think it's the only category that has TSR cars in this time then, because Mauro and Dominic were both in Group 3.
Yep.
There you see Octavian closely behind. John Wandering, of course, for Golden Bear Motorsport. And Zephanius as well. And Lugi is still sat in the pits. I don't think he has a qualifying ban or anything. That was Mihai that got that last time. As the cars are spacing themselves out a little bit now. We're going to go on board with Joe of the Fire for a lap here at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. Making their way through the final corner. Front wheel drive, of course, these cars in the Group 4 category. As exiting the pits now is
that's a perfect
Lugi,
shot. Side by side.
making their way down towards turn 2, effectively, the Andretti hairpin. And let's hope that Lugi doesn't end up impeding Joe on his run. I think he isn't.
He isn't, no.
Turn 3, the sort of infield section that goes the other side of where the lake was. Of course, Laguna Seca translates to dry lake. Nicely done by Joe through this section. Now going to the uphill. Bit of banking on these corners will be helping out these front wheel drive cars. And then this really tricky corner to get right. You've got to watch out for these anti-cuts. And Joe runs wide, actually. He goes
wide.
onto the sand here at Laguna Seca.
A little bit of qualifying racing.
And Lugi has gotten past him there, you see. He's on an outlap, but Joe making that mistake, that is a costly one.
That will ruin his lap. He's going to have to take another lap.
And look at the tyre wear as well. That's also going to mean that the tyres are past their best. Maybe that's what Zephanius was thinking with going for the mediums, is just to have more consistency throughout this session. But through the final corner goes Joe. What's the time going to be? It's probably not going to be the most competitive out of the group. It is a 1:30.628, and I think he may have had a penalty on that because it was red.
Octavian with 1:26.1.
Yes, 1:28.136. Therefore, Octavian. That's currently top of the timing sheets. Joe with that penalty drops down the order a bit. Zephanius goes to second in the Renault Megane. 2 seconds off of Octavian's pace, but ahead of Joe. Joe will be hoping for a cleaner lap.
Octavian had a 10th up on his lap.
John Wandering currently in 4th, and Lugi trying to hustle round to get a lap on the board. I believe they were the pole sitter for Daytona. Or at least they had a really good Daytona. I remember that much. So, oh, and they're actually purple by nearly a second. So this could be very interesting as he makes his way through the downhill and into the last couple of corners. Checkered flag will be out again at the 7-minute marker on your screen.
Octavian went a little wider there.
What's this going to be for Loogie? It's going to be a 127.0.
Wow.
And Joe betters it,
Joe beats it.
127.061.
That's crazy. Octavian wasn't able to make a better lap, unfortunately. Oh, he was, but he didn't go. He didn't improve his placement. Zevonius, I think, didn't get another lap.
Zephonius, I think, was very close to it.
That's unfortunate.
I think Zephonius may have just missed it.
So yes, Zevonius and GTO, I believe. I have nicknames on.
Octavian, I think.
No, fifth place in the
Fifth?
Emirates.
Oh, John Wandering, that is.
Yeah. So they both don't get a new lap. But Loogie's already a 10th up on his best lap.
Loogie's going to be the next one to cross the line, as Zephonius has gone back to the pits when I said to stay on circuit. That's always good fun. Heavy braking for the final corner. Trying to put the power down. The tyres are very worn at this stage. Will it be an improvement for Loogie? It is! It's a 126.9.
Will Joe better it? No, he doesn't.
Joe doesn't better it. What does Octavian do? No improvement.
Loogie is your pole sitter.
John Wandering coming across the final corner.
That was a good show. I enjoyed that qualifying.
John Wandering does improve their time, but they stay. I think that's fifth. Difficult to tell with Zephonius in the pits. So Joe's gonna get the grid order.
Need to put softs on my car. No, not hards. Yeah, all props to Loogie. He made an incredible show there.
And that with leaving it late in the session, that was
exactly, that's
very
what I was gonna say.
Exciting. Okay then. So Joe has got the grid order for the Group 4s. It will be Loogie on pole position, as you just saw. We're going to get Group 3 qualifying underway shortly.
Okay. So I will mute myself, and I will see you on the other side.
Yep. Myth, of course, one of the competitors in this upcoming session. We're going to reset. And the timer ticks. These guys having to apply their setups. Thanks to the fantastic way that the game is structured. If you enjoyed that first session, again, be sure to leave a like and consider subscribing for the rest of the season. Plenty of action like that coming up. It's only going to get more intense from here. Indeed, hello to John Wandering and DLL Flipsy in the chat. And in fact, all 7 of you that are currently watching, even if one of those is me. Hello, me. I don't know.
Another one is me.
Well, yes, that's somewhat expected, I guess. So Houdini just left the pits momentarily. That's something that we used to do, at least, to guarantee that the setup was applied. I don't know why Loogie is waiting in the pits. Interesting choice there. Group 3 qualifying green. I've got the message up. We'll be getting underway ever so shortly. And out of the pits. There goes Myth. He'll be the one leading us out this time in the Dodge Viper. Interesting circuit for the Viper. It might struggle a bit with the elevation changes, but we'll see. It was a bit of a tricky time for Myth at Interlagos, I seem to recall, but better at Daytona. I'd say this circuit is closer to Interlagos than Daytona, but we'll have to see how it goes. GTO also here, driving the green Lexus of Nukeshot Motorsport. Good to see him back again. Taters in close proximity at the moment in that Genesis. He'll be getting a bit of space a bit further around the lap, I'm sure. And Houdini in the Ford GT, the older car, should be good on the straights, of which there are quite a few, but they're all relatively short. So we'll see how that goes for him. Myth making his way through, as it seems Taters has overtaken GTO and has closed up quite significantly. I'm not sure what's going on here. There's a little bit of miscommunication going off. That might have to be investigated, we'll have to see. But onto the laps then. Taters it is that now leads the field in the Genesis. These cars, of course, decent bit quicker than the previous group. Potential for one extra lap. We'll see how that goes. Wind speed, it's a bit of a headwind, I suppose, going down the start-finish straight. It's relatively low, but we'll see if that catches anyone out. Might be seeing a couple more Group 3 cars on their way, but these are the ones that have made it to qualifying. Taters on the uphill towards the corkscrew, the most famous corner in the on the circuit. And he's actually got a penalty for that, cutting the corkscrew. That's going to hamper his progress. We're going to see what lap time he manages to do, though, as the lights are coming on. So the track getting a little bit darker. Track temperature will be accordingly going down, and that's going to really affect his time as the penalty gets served on the straight. As GTO goes top of the timesheets, it's a 123.125. As Houdini goes faster, 123.085. Tater's currently third, Myth fourth, but of course he didn't really have the cleanest of first laps with that bit of incident. But through the first set of laps then, it seems that Houdini is fastest, but will Taters be able to get back towards the front of the field? He just needs to avoid cutting the corkscrew, and I think he might have a decent shot at it. Coming up to the corkscrew this time around, perhaps going to be a bit more conservative. Yep, nicely done. Car slipping a little bit on the downhill. He's nearly a tenth up on Houdini's time. Last couple corners. They will all have one more lap after this one, as GTO goes onto the sand in the background. That won't be helping. Coming up to the line, what's it going to be? It is pole position provisionally for Taters, 122.384. GTO improved that time around. They go back ahead of Houdini. Houdini about to cross the line. They don't improve on that occasion. And Myth with a 125.229. They stay fourth at the moment. Getting the checkered flag marking or message ready. There it is. These guys on their last laps then. Gonna see if there's any surprises. 6/10 in hand for Taters at this point. That looks relatively insurmountable. Does GTO have an answer? Does Houdini? Does Myth? We're gonna see. No improvement at the moment for GTO as he makes his way through that sector. Neither for Myth. Are we up to the final corner? And will it be an improvement further for Taters on this occasion? It is! It's a 122.081 for Taters. And it is an improvement for GTO. That's a 123 flat. Myth improves as well. Good final sector. 124.8. And Houdini goes back up to second. 122.993. 7 thousandths of a second between second and third place. But a massive 9/10 of a second for Taters taking pole position in commanding fashion. Congratulations to him.
Well, that was eventful.
I couldn't have put it better myself. There was a little bit of an incident there. What would you make of that one, if I may ask?
It wasn't my greatest moment. Yeah, I just dipped a wheel on the sand a little bit and kind of impeded two people, but that's okay.
I impeded two people, but that's okay. That one's going in the quote book.
Unfortunate.
No, congratulations anyway to Taters on the pole position.
This is why I figured I was the perfect person to co-commentate with you, because I would be kind of bored during the race.
Gonna check some of the messages in chat. We've got quite a bit of activity. Hello to TomSoft. Asking if he can join?
Do it.
I mean...
It'd be funny.
Yeah, I guess. Why not?
Actually, wait. It would, like, make Taters really upset. No, you know what? Do it.
No, hold on. No, he's asking for a Z4, and no, there is no Z4 on the list, so unfortunate for that. It is probably a bit late, I suppose, but...
put him in the road car.
But if you ever did want to enter one of these TomSoft, you know where the entry list is. That's what I'll say to that. But yeah, hello to TomSoft, hello to Lugi, who's also in chat, and Matthias. Nice having so many of you here. Cool. If you enjoyed that session, be sure to leave a like and consider subscribing. That's a phrase that you're going to hear an awful lot of throughout this.
That's what I'm going to blame it on, is that it's so cold in my room. All of my problems are because my hands are frozen.
I'm gonna ask a question because I completely forget. Hold on.
Oh. John Wanderin says even in a road car, TomSoft would beat him. TomSoft would beat me in a road car while I'm in a Tomahawk.
It's been over a month, I think, since the last one of these. I completely forgot what we did for procedures.
I don't think we do. I don't think we
It's
reset
because
again.
it's sunset, and I don't know.
I mean, we could.
Uh,
No, I think it kind of auto resets itself. Oh well, whatever. Don't listen to me.
well, Joe has done the reset,
That's fine.
and it is back to daytime. It seems now.
Oh God.
Oh well, congratulations to both our poll setters, Lugie and Taters. Fantastic performances. Will there be any challenges? And we'll have to see. Oh, there's quite a bit of cloud cover this time. That could be playing a factor. Track temperature a bit lower than before, a bit less. Well, I suppose it would be a little bit more grip in this case. So all the cars are going on circuit. Joe will be setting the grid. Thanks again to Joe of the Fire.
Tom's off saying that he hasn't been on GT7 in 3 months. He probably hasn't been in a league race for longer. Seems like GTO, or no, not GTO. John Wandering is on hards.
Oh, interesting strategy. We saw him do that at Daytona, I think. He tried to go for a one stop because the pit delta was quite long, and I think it's even longer here. So that would be interesting. I've just put a notice on Discord asking if anyone is still on their way.
I Am Games says hi, man, in chat. Hello, I Am Games.
Ah, yes, hello. Welcome to the live stream here of the Nukeshot Endurance Series North America Tour, Round 2 here at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca, brought to you by Firestone. Unofficially.
John did 2 stops at Daytona. He switched to hard on his first stop.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh shit! I should be. Oh, sorry.
Oi.
Sorry.
Don't worry about it. That the one, no more.
Yeah, sorry. I was thinking of something. GTO got my setups, or I was thinking of setups when GTO said something.
Okay, I'm gonna do another quick check on Discord. Once again, I'll use this time to do my auto commentary of leave a like, consider subscribing, blah blah, all the rest. Mihai, I think, is the one that we might still be waiting for, if anyone. Just checking.
Zephonius is also on hearts. So we've got one.
Interesting.
We'll yeah, 2 hearts in the group 4.
There you see the tie strategy. Myth, interestingly, going for the mediums, as is GTO in the group 3 class.
I can't handle softs on full fuel. Unfortunate.
Checking the schedule. We should be starting now, but I'm gonna give it a few more minutes just to see.
I should start doing jumping jacks in my room so I'm not so cold. I wonder if I jump around enough, the microphone will pick it up.
I don't think Mihai is going to be on his way based on this, but...
Unfortunate. That's one NSR car down. but it's okay. I'll pick up the legacy.
Everyone's just getting all prepped.
I'll dedicate this race to Mihai because he can't be here today.
It's a shame, definitely. This will of course mean that his qualifying ban rolls over to the next race he can attend.
Oh, darn.
I know, it's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. But we
Bro
wish
can't
him all
ban
the
a race.
best, and hopefully he'll tune into the live stream at least. Checking the live stream once again. Mihai Hazel. That's quite something. Oh yeah.
John, you can't finish last when I'm in the lobby.
This is true. He might be
only one
in a
plus.
higher category, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure you'll do fine. Also, with
Thanks.
I suppose a relatively smallish grid in terms of the amount of cars in each category. I think it's 4 in each, maybe 5 in Group 4.
It's at least bigger than the preview event, which is always a good sign.
Oh, definitely. What I was mainly going to say is higher points on offer, essentially, for the lower positions.
And that's why I'm going
Effectively,
to win the
with less
championship.
cars. So it pays to show up.
So cold, man. It's
I don't think anyone else is on their way then. I've given warning. We're going to get this thing underway.
At least you are trying, which is the most important thing. Thank you, Mattias. I don't know if that was directed towards me, but I'm gonna take it.
I think it's probably directed to both you and John, but we'll see. Gonna
Race underway.
get all these settings and stuff sorted. Here we go then. No formation lap or anything like that, as we know for this particular league, but there is a false start check. Hopefully the lights are going to come on. Here we go then. Round 2 of the NES North America Tour is about to get underway. We are green, and the cars are off. A fantastic launch by the Ford GT of Houdini. That Ford always very strong off the line. We saw that at Daytona. He defends the inside. Little bit of onion barges going into turn 1. Taters picks up a penalty. Myth goes up into second. There's a bit more contact going on in the Group 3 category. Myth trying to find his way around the outside. That's going to be a tricky one to do. Taters finds his way back into second. Myth in third now, and it looks like GTO is going to pull up alongside. Meanwhile, the Group 4s. Lugi manages to hold on to the lead, still side by side with Myth and GTO. GTO just eased out of that one. And it is Houdini that jumps into the lead of the race. Lugi holding on to their pole position. It is Poctavian that's up into second. Joe is down to third. Zephonius fourth. And John Wandering in fifth as they make their way towards the corkscrew. Houdini goes off! Houdini goes off at the corkscrew. Loses a lot of time. And I think he's sliding about again. Rejoins, but he's got a load of angry cars right behind him. That's going to give Taters quite a lot of breathing room. And he spins again in front of the field. He spins again. He's got to get the car facing the right way. All these other cars in the Group 4 category doing a good job avoiding him. Houdini succumbing to the pressure in the early stages of the race. Taters, meanwhile, has managed to serve the penalty and has maintained a 2.6 second lead. Side by side for second once again as GTO manages to go down the inside. Myth getting onto the sand just a little bit on the exit of the Andretti hairpin. We're going to see a replay of this side by side down the straight. GTO with that insideline.com. Nicely done there. Hashtag no bias for the green team machine. What an absolutely hectic start. And that finds Houdini in the Group 3 category down to 6th overall, with Octavian and Lugi up ahead. Will be making their way to overtaking them again shortly. Just got to find that rhythm once again, has Houdini. Tricky to do so, but I'm sure he will. Plenty of the race to go as we see 28 laps of this. Oh, what an action-packed opening section of the race as it continues. Going to check in again on the Group 4 category. Lugi and Octavian are the two that have broken away from the rest of the field through all of the chaos. As we also see their Myth in camera shot. Octavian about to be overtaken by Houdini. That's expected. And we'll be coming up to our category leader in Lugi very shortly. Going to catch him at a bit of an awkward spot though. This sort of, I suppose, infield goes around the dry lake. Decent pace though by Houdini. That was the purple sector through sector 1. He does manage to overtake, and he is coming up towards Myth once again, so I think Myth may have had a little bit of an issue. Gonna check in on some of the other cars a bit further down. Joe of the Fire, not a particularly good start for the Witty Professor. Finds himself in 3rd place, 7th overall. Zephonius in 4th place, and John Wandering, I think it is, yep, in 5th. Perhaps had a bit of an incident on the opening stages of this one. Taters continues to lead and stretching that lead. Relatively unopposed at this stage, nearly 6 seconds already through all that chaos. GTO has managed to do a good job of riding out the chaos. And once again, we saw this at Daytona. He's gone for split tyres. He's gone for racing mediums on the front and softs on the rear. He won't be able to replicate that after a pit stop for tyres, but that seems to be optimal for him. Meanwhile, we've had an overtake for 3rd place at the Andretti hairpin as Houdini goes by. We're going to see a replay of that. Going to go on board with the Ford GT of the Martini Racing Team, and that was from very far back. In fact, there was contact made. There was quite a rude overtake there, in my personal opinion, as Houdini is trying to charge his way back up the order. We'll see if he makes any inroads towards GTO. The tyres really take a beating around here. It's a relatively abrasive surface at Laguna Seca. The sand definitely playing its part in that, how it blows onto the circuit. That's why you also see relatively high tyre wear at places like Bahrain in Formula 1. As these two cars, still 3rd and 4th in the Group 3 category, really close together. Will Myth be trying to repay the favour? Again, that's very far back if he tries it. Indeed. Settles in. He is on mediums, of course. Houdini on the softs. So there will be a bit of a pace discrepancy there. GTO, of course, on the split tyres, and Taylor's on softs as well at the front of the field. Lugi, who's on softs in the Group 4 category, front wheel drives, and those front tyres have taken an absolute battering in these opening laps. Going to do some comparisons of these cars. Very similar tyre wear actually to Octavian in the Peugeot RCZ. Oh, it looked like the rear wheels came off the ground there. The car did an endo as he got onto the brakes. That was interesting to say the least. He's managed to recover it though. He just clips the sand a little bit. Gets back going. Joe on the hards. So that explains why Joe has lacked pace in this opening stint. He's trying to go for less pit stops. It seems to be an interesting one. We'll see how that develops for him throughout the rest of this. Same strategy for Zephanius and for John Wandering. So those three, all on the same strategy. Octavian into the pits.
That was
okay.
That was a crazy opening lap and first laps for me.
Absolutely, it definitely looked like it, and well done again to settling back into things after all that chaos. So Octavian making the first pit stop.
I do feel...
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. You're the commentator, I'm sorry.
So into the pits goes Octavian. New tyres. Shame that he can't just change the front ones and save a bit of time. Has to be all four. He's gone on to the hard, so he has switched strategy. And he's going to rejoin in, I think that's fourth in category. Very long pit deltas. And look at the track map meanwhile. Cars littered everywhere, pretty much evenly across the circuit. Back onto the circuit goes Octavian. It wouldn't surprise me if we see Taylor's in relatively soon for a pit stop. The front right in particular seemingly taking a beating. And GTO with a very balanced tyre wear. He seems to have gauged that quite well with the mediums on the front and the softs on the rear. Might be trickier for him on the second stint. Everyone's pretty much forced to pit at least once based on fuel, let alone tyres. So we may see it more than once, but it's pretty much a minimum of one stop. Oh, sideways moment for Houdini. Going on the exit of turn 3. Gathers it back up, but he did clip the sand. Myth in the NSR Viper. Nicely done through turn 4 and towards turn 5. Lugi still leading in the Group 4 category, but those front tyres are pretty much completely gone. Now, it'll be interesting to see if he still decides to stay out, even though they are completely gone. We've seen similar kind of things before in Gran Turismo. Or it might just be too much for him, we'll see. But the pit stop for Octavian has promoted Joe of the Fire up into second place. And of course, first of the hard runners. Zephanius also promoted to a podium position as it stands, 13 seconds ahead of Octavian, who is in fourth in the Group 4 category. And fifth place, John Wandering, about to be lapped by Taters. First little bit of traffic as Lugi does go into the pits. No issues there for Taters as he negotiates the traffic. Gonna recheck the live chat there. Thanks everyone for who tuning in and such. Hope you're enjoying all the action. Lugi about to go into the pits. This is what I mean about the long pit deltas. Everyone's just sort of waiting around, and there finally the car shows up. He's already down to third by this point. Will he go onto the hards?
That long pit delta cancels out once everyone has to go through it and cycle out.
It seems that he has gone for the softs again. We'll see once he finally exits the pit lane whether that changes. No, he is on the softs. Okay, so very aggressive strategy by Lugi this time out. As the lights come on once again, that was probably for a bit of fog that's descended upon the circuit. Myth, how is the fog out there at this moment in time for you, visibility-wise and such?
Well, the fog doesn't really mind me as much as the sun does. The sun and the fog. combination really messes with me through the section with the corkscrew.
Alright, thanks for the driver side update there. We'll tune into you again later on in the race. Tater's still currently leading. In fact, that front right is completely gone for Tater's. So surely he's going to be into the pit soon. GTO, meanwhile, in second place. About 8 seconds back from Tater's. And Houdini has been doing their best to catch, but those tyres are looking very worn on the Ford GT. He's got a little bit of traffic to negotiate coming up towards the corkscrew. That is John Wandering. I think it's probably safe to stay behind, although John Wandering tries to move off of the racing line. It's tricky to do so at that point. Our race leader, meanwhile, goes into the pits. Will we see Houdini also? It seems like it. Houdini also goes to the pits. And that puts GTO to the lead of the race on this alternate strategy, utilising the mediums. And into the pits goes Tater's, into the pit stall. New tyres for the Genesis. I believe it is a Team Tater's car. I'm going to have a check on that one just to be sure. Entry submissions. It's all up on my tablet, it's just quite a bit of scrolling. He's back on circuit and he's gone for mediums, and so has Houdini. So softs, seemingly not the way to go, according to these guys. They're going to try out the mediums and see how it turns out. Will GTO be able to go to half distance on this current strategy? I'm sure that'll be the aim. That's lap 14. Is it? Yes, lap 14. No, is the answer to that. He's decided to go into the pits this lap. The green team hopping over the wall. New tyres. And this is going to put Myth into the lead of the race unless he decides to pit this time around. And
Mate,
he's actually been... That was really awkward
oh my
there,
God,
catching the traffic. Be very careful, Myth. That was... that was really awkward there, just catching the traffic at the wrong time, blocking his entry to the pit lane. Nothing that John Wandering, I think, was at fault for there, just really unfortunate timing. And that's going to make this lap really difficult for Myth. Got to be very careful on the throttle application. Although I do see he is using traction control. Sorry, Myth, you can talk us through that now. A bit of team radio.
Oh, God. Oh, no!
Oh, no!
It's fine, I'm good.
And the leader... No, Tater's is coming up right behind him as well. He's got nothing to fight with.
Oh, these tires are dead.
Tater's back into the lead of the race.
My strategy is done. My strategy's dead. Thank you. I'm so glad for that group 4.
That was... okay, I feel bad saying this, but it was kind of funny.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't take this as seriously as some others, so it's honestly.
Oh, okay. Good sport, good sport. So that is Tater's back into the lead of the race. GTO is third and negotiating some more traffic, it would seem. John Wandering coming up. Houdini in fourth. 9.7 is the gap between them.
I should stay out another lap, that would be funny.
It depends. You might want to try lap 14 and go for halfway. Oh, never mind. You're in the pits as well. If you go for hard, you might be able to get to the end from here, but you may have already clicked that. Why am I giving you strategy advice?
Yeah. I have a strategy already, anyway.
Okay.
Well, kind of.
Wish you the best with that. Well, we're gonna tune in now. Myth, talk us through your pit stop.
No, I can't keep secret, or I can't give secrets away.
Oh, okay. Well, we're just gonna... We've got all of our cameras looking at the NSR pit crew. 4 tyres going on. They're gonna fuel up as well. I'm sure they will a little bit, maybe? No.
Nope.
Apparently fuel not an issue at this circuit, then. Going on to
is an issue, but
softs. Okay.
it is an issue, but it's not as big of an issue.
On to softs for the NSR Viper. Number 37 rejoins the circuit. Will be 17 seconds behind Houdini. Joe with the Fire on the hards. Those tyres are looking very much spent at this point, but he is undoubtedly going to try and stretch it to halfway. It's the only real way that he can get back into this, I think. Lugi is 8.4 seconds back on another set of softs. They're the only one that is still sticking to this soft tyre strategy. And they're trying to close in. You can just about see Joe in camera shot. Zephanius in third. And in fact, there's a little bit of battling going on here in the Group 4 category. Side by side with Poctavian and Zephanius. And I think Poctavian is going to get this one done on the outside. Does he manage to hold on to it? Yes, just about. Goes a little bit defensive. I don't think Zephanius has much to fight with their tyres at this point, though. Indeed, good move there by Poctavian. We're going to get a replay on that one shortly as they just make their way through the corkscrew. Here it is then, we're going on board with Poctavian. Trying to use the superior grip on the fresher tyres to get a bit of a cutback. Will be the outside for turn 5 when he gets that done very nicely. And the sun is setting here at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. The light's very much on. I thought it was for fog earlier. Now it's definitely for lessening light. Into the pits goes Zephanius. If you're enjoying this race, be sure to leave a like, consider subscribing. This is Zokyo of Nukeshot Media, bringing you the live action of the Nukeshot Endurance Series North America Tour Round 2 at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca, brought to you unofficially by Firestone. And speaking of Firestones, the Bridgestones, same company, going on to Zephanius's Renault again. Making their way out of the pits. It's another set of racing hards. Didn't quite get to half distance.
Oh, what are you doing, man? There we go.
Oh, has there been a little bit of...
No, it's fine. It's just lapping is a bit confusing.
Oh, okay. We do advise the Group 4 cars to stay on a predictable racing line, so they should be doing that at the very least. Group 4 race leader goes into the pits, as does second. There's Joe with the Fire and Lugi. A little bit early for the halfway point then for Joe, but perhaps couldn't really take these tyres much further. It'll be interesting to see if both Joe and Lugi go for the same tyres for this particular stop. It was a 4.2 second gap between them at the time that they entered the pits. Joe exiting now, and Lugi also on the hards. Okay, so they are on the same strategy, as Poctavian has managed to get into the lead from all of this in category. As Joe rejoins, GTO goes by, a little bit more lappery going off. Circuit continuing to get darker and darker. Thanks to all the fans that have been in attendance here at the circuit, digital though you may be. Great camera work once again by Jack Wilkinson, giving us shots of the crowd and of course of the action. John wandering meanwhile into the pits themselves. Will probably be another set of racing hards. Tyre longevity seems to be the way to go for this particular race. As I mentioned, the long pit delta seemingly taking a lot of precedent in this. Into the pits goes John wandering into the stall. New tyres. And on his way out. Indeed, it is going to be another set of racing hards, as our race leader Taters in the Group 3 category just makes his way past. Good timing. Second place, meanwhile, GTO. Interesting, they've gone for softs on their latest stop. So they may have to pit once more towards the end of this. We'll have to see, but they're 18 seconds ahead of Houdini, and they're going purple through Sector 1. Current fastest lap of the race is held by Taters, so 122.126. That's just over a whole second. No, apologies. That's Oh, there's that. Never mind. Someone's just gone off. Someone's just gone off. Who was that? I think that was John Wandering. I think I was trying to say that's 3/10 faster than the best from GTO. But here we are then, watching John Wandering. I think it may have been a case of him trying to stay out the way again, which we don't advise. He was flashing his lights as he went off. Maybe just carrying a bit too much speed, I think, was the issue there, but managed to gather it up. Those front-wheel drive cars are good for that. And continues onwards. Let's check in on the order then, as things stand. It is Taters, our current leader in the Group 3 category, GTO in second, Houdini in third, and Mythical in fourth. In the Group 4 category, it is Poctavian, who's going to owe us a pit stop very soon in the Peugeot RCZ, but they currently lead from Joe of the Fire, who is 6 seconds back, and Loogie, who is still around 4.2 seconds back. That gap between Joe and Loogie hasn't changed that much since their pit stops on the same lap.
Who's that in front of me?
Oh, massive moment there. Apologies, we just saw Houdini into the sand once again. And again, he's lost it again! He's looped it round!
Oh.
He's got to gather it back up. Got to be careful on the rejoin. He's parked it up next to the tyre wall. What on earth is he doing? He's trying to spin the car while off the circuit, I think. There, he's lost a lot of time doing that. Where is Myth in all of this? He's
right
one
here,
corner behind. You can probably see him up the road now. That is Zephanius up ahead, but the car ahead of that is Houdini. And a massive mistake.
He got away from my grasp. As unfortunate as that is. Oh!
Poctavian into the pits. That promotes Joe back into the lead of the race, and I'm sure Loogie will go back to second as well. Be interesting to see where Zephanius is in relation to Poctavian. Zephanius on the downhill just after the corkscrew. And it could be quite close between them. Zephanius not long made a stop themselves.
Zakio, if I may interject real quick, could you could you stress after the race and maybe for next rounds to the Group 4 category to stay in their line? That'd be great.
Yeah, no problem. We'll do that.
It's not that huge of an issue. It's just, you know.
They should be anyway, but yeah, it's good for reminders and stuff.
Yeah.
Nah, thanks. Current leader then still is Taters, 6.8. Would have expected that gap to be a bit larger, if I'm honest, but perhaps just managing his pace. It's been 123s. It wasn't 223s, that'd be awful, but have an engine issue or something. But no, the Genesis doing well. Brake discs glowing, going into the Andretti hairpin. And there you see, panning the camera, GTO not that far behind. Probably gonna be coming into the pits quite soon though. But they have 40 seconds over Houdini after Houdini made that crucial mistake. And the gap between Houdini and Myth is 6.2. And seemingly coming down a little bit. That Viper catching up. As Poctavian has a 3-second penalty. When on earth did that happen? Oh, I know what that would be. That would be cutting the pit lines or something like that. Oh, that is really unfortunate for Punctavian. And that will drop him back quite a bit closer to Zephonius. He did rejoin ahead of Zephonius. It was a lot higher of a gap than the 4.4 seconds it is now. 4.2 even. As our race leader goes into the pits. As does second place. So similar to what we saw the top two in the Group 4 category do, it seems that the top two are going to be merging strategies for this final stint. Will it be another set of softs for GTO? Will Taylors go for softs at this point? 5.7 seconds is the gap between the two of them. Into the pits goes the Nuke Shot Lexus, and the Genesis is already leaving the box. It is softs for Taylors. And another set of softs for GTO. Where's Houdini? Houdini is on the start-finish straight. I don't think he's going to be troubling these guys. And, of course, Houdini's tyres are going to be significantly more worn compared to these guys that have just come out of the pits. Let alone them being on mediums. So, what could have been if it wasn't for that spin for Houdini Myers? 7.7 seconds back is Myth, in-race correspondent. Myth, as the light levels continue to drop, how's the track driving out there? See you sliding around a little bit on these worn tyres.
It's about as good as my Viper will allow me to have fun with. I am on really worn tyres. I am planning on pitting sometime soon, so...
Alright, we'll be sure to keep an eye on that one, as Joe of the Fire, Group 4 leader, has managed to... Oh, someone's kicking up a load of sand there in his face. That was rude. I think that was GTO, yep, in the Lexus up ahead. But that is a 2.6 second gap that Joe has over Lugi in second. Going to compare their lap times as they are about to come across the line. There's a 1 minute 30.3 for Joe that time. It seems he may have made a mistake. 129.5 for Lugi, as into the pits goes Myth. Myth, talk through your pit stop.
Another set of softs and a little bit of fuel. Just a splash.
Thank you, Myth. As the crew make their way towards... the crew make their way towards the car? What kind of pit stop is this? I don't know. My brain is playing tricks on me. The car isn't even there yet. Still waiting. It's going to show up. There it is.
There it is.
Into the stall. New Michelin Pilot Sports for that Viper. On they go. No real concerns for fuel. Never mind, he does fuel up. But goes to the commentator instantly. New softs, we're going to see what he can do with some clear air. Alright then. If you was wondering, our race leader has just gone on to the start-finish straight. He's that arrow. Coming across the line now to start lap 22 of 28 here at Laguna Seca for round 2 of the NES North America Tour, brought to you unofficially by Firestone. And how appropriate that the Firestone title-sponsored car is at the head of the field for this one. Of course, been a major sponsor for Team Taylors and Team Capital for quite a while. Been their tyre supplier. Rhyming unintentionally. GTO currently in second. Set a personal best lap last time around. 122.1. That was faster actually than what Taylors was able to manage. And he's coming to lap a bit more traffic is a Houdini. Oh, trying to go for the inside on Lugi. Wasn't quite close enough. With the extra power in that Group 3 car, does get him in between those two corners on one of the short straights. Very close to the sand once again. And Myth currently in 4th place. We'll probably need to rely on an incident or something to get a podium today, but we'll see. Oh, careful, Myth.
I'm okay.
The gap at the lead of Group 4, meanwhile, 2.6 seconds. That's been relatively stable, as there's a bit of lappery about to go on here as Houdini makes his way towards them, overtaking Joe of the Fire. Lugi 2.4 back. Seemingly has a bit of a better top speed than Joe going on these straights. That seems to be where he's gaining some of the time. Poctavian, meanwhile, 29 seconds back. That strategy hasn't seemed to work for him necessarily, but he is getting a bit of an increase on the gap over Zephonius in 4th, who Myth is about to overtake. He waits behind.
Jesus.
Gets that one done. And,
why am I always lapping them right there?
No, that's the thing. You always catch traffic at the most awkward points. That's just how this multi-class racing goes. And John Wandering, currently in 5th place. Decent bit off the pace, but it will be picking up quite a lot of points for 5th today. I'll have to quickly check on that. 5th place points, it's 4 points for that. And given that it's 15 for a win, that is quite significant. It pays to show up, as we say. Of course, hoping that anyone who has been watching the stream but hasn't been able to make the race today, hope to see you again in the future. If you're interested in signing up for the series, then be sure to check the link in the description to our Discord server. I don't think the link works. Oh no, it does work. Oh, that's nice. It was, I think the last stream at Daytona, it was acting where you had to like copy and paste it or something for it to actually work, but it seems that it works. That's good. So be sure to, even if you don't want to sign up and just want to hang out with us as a community.
Oh my god. I'm so sorry.
Has something happened? Oh, something has happened!
Yeah. I lapped him again. I lapped John, and I tried to stay behind him, but more confusion, and I punt him into the...
Yeah, we just saw that. Bit of a miscommunication there. This is another reason why we don't run with mechanical damage on for this at the moment, as people get readjusted, reacclimatized to multi-class racing. A bit more sand tracking there for the slippery snake. Lap 25 at the moment for our race leader, Taters. Also clipping sand. It seems customary that happens. 121.8, that's extremely fast pace for this stage of the race. Of course, this will be where the fuel load is at its lowest, and those racing softs, although worn, still giving quite a bit of performance. Does Taters wait this one out? He's... oh. That was very close again. Zephonius, meanwhile, has a 0.5 second penalty for track limits. Making his way through the corkscrew. Tyres will be scrambling for grip through there, I'd imagine. Could potentially break a drive shaft or something if you get on the throttle too awkwardly through the compression. If such a thing existed in-game, of course. Into the pits goes Zephonius. That'll be for new tyres. Maybe, well, probably softs at this point. Maybe try and go for fastest lapping category. See how that works out for him. John Wandering also going into the pits. And the battle for the lead in Group 4 has come down. It's 1.6. And it continues to come down. Although the tyre wear seems far more significant for Lugi than it does for Joe of the Fire. So Joe perhaps managing his tyres on throttle application and such. Out of the pits goes Zephonius. He's going to be softs for the Belgian. And John Wandering This is actually his home circuit, I believe, the California native. So good to see him racing here today. Look at the sky here that we see at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. Fantastic stuff. Headlights very much illuminating the track up ahead. And what has been a dominant performance by Taters. Had a bit of a scare at the start, admittedly, but gathered it up. And it looks like he's going to bring this one home. He's flashing his lights. He must know that he's on camera. GTO, I think, again, bar a mistake, is going to have to settle for second today. But that is a fantastic result in terms of the championship. So we'll have to see whether he brings that one home or not. Oh, I think he's just nearly threw it away. As Houdini goes into the pits, I think Houdini's going to try for fastest lap. Oh, that could have gone very wrong. Got to get off throttle when you dip the wheels that far into the sand. Houdini coming into the pits. Oh, I think his tyres were shot anyway. Just misjudging that a bit. This could put him a bit closer to Myth. Going through the corkscrew now. I think it might be still a bit of a gap between them, but it'll be a bit closer than it was. Into the pit stall, tyres being changed, new Goodyears on that Ford GT, Goodyear being the tyre manufacturer of choice for the Martini racing team, and going down towards the Andretti hairpin. Where's Myth? Coming up to the start finish line. Okay, so no cars in between them, as Octavian going into the pits. They're going to try for fastest lap, perhaps. They've got 43 seconds over Zephanius, so they're going to use that and shouldn't be under threat necessarily. The final lap then for our race leader. And again, another impressive display. 6.7 seconds is the gap at the moment. Making his way uphill for the last time of asking. Towards this really tricky kink. Got to watch the anti-cuts. Everyone's been really well... done a really good job of avoiding those for the most part, I think.
I could say that I have touched them once or twice before.
Through the downhill, 2 corners from home. Taters, 1 corner from home now. Car number 98 makes his way round the final corner. It is going to be Taters that wins round 2 of the NES North America Tour here at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. Congratulations to him. It is going to be GTO taking second place, a fantastic result for the Nuke Shot driver, and Houdini still with a decent bit of circuit to negotiate before we can officially say he's got third. And in fact 8.1 seconds is the gap between him and Myth, so that's still all to play for if there's a mistake involved. There's going to be a few cars that are coming up to the line. Octavian's about to come across the line. They're going to be third place officially. Well done to Octavian on the podium. Zephanius will be the next to cross the line. Looks like they'll be about 12 seconds back from Octavian in the end. Give it a good run of things. Fourth place, as there's a little bit of chaos through this final section. John Wandering crosses the line, and that is going to be Joe of the Fire winning in the Group 4 category. Congratulations to Joe on a fantastic result. Strategy definitely paid off there. It is a second place officially now for Lugi, and Myth crosses the line in 4th, Houdini 3rd. there is our race winner from pole to victory. That didn't quite tell the full story, of course, but what a race that was. I'm going to save the replay on that one. Here are your final results then. It was Taters that also took the fastest lap of the race in the end, 121.859. Look how close that was actually between him and GTO. It's, what, 6 thousandths in the battle for fastest lap? That could have swung either way. So it is Taters that takes the win and the 15 points that go with it. GTO in second place, Houdini third, Myth in fourth. In the Group 4 category, it is Joe of the Fire that takes the win from Lugi in second, Poctavian third, Zephonius fourth, and John Wandering in fifth place. And it is Lugi that gets the extra point for fastest lap in that one. They get the points for fastest lap and, of course, the pole position. So that's an extra 3. Well, what a race that was. We hope you enjoyed it. Again, be sure to leave a like and consider subscribing for the rest of the season. If the calendar all goes to plan and there's no more technical issues, it will be next week at Watkins Glen International. We're making a road trip all the way across the United States to upstate New York.
That'll be my race, baby.
That will be another fantastic one, I'm sure, so be sure to subscribe for that one. Myth, since you're here, your thoughts on what has been a relatively eventful race here today at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca.
Well, I had my fun in the beginning, I'm not going to lie, but towards the end it got a little bit boring. I think my strategy was a bit wonky, and obviously I'm not able to drive my Viper the way I want to. So it's a fun race, but ultimately I'm just here for the participation award.
No, well, congratulations, you made it to the end, and 4th place points. How many is that? Let's check. That's still quite a bit. That is 6 points today. It's over potential rivals that didn't show up. Joke's on them, I suppose. So again, thanks to everyone who's tuned in for this one. Again, be sure to leave a like if you have enjoyed. Subscribe for the rest of the season. This has been round 2 of the Nukeshot Endurance Series North America Tour, here from WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. See you next week, hopefully, server issues pending, for round 3. I've been Zokio. He's been Myth.
Hello. Or goodbye.
Hello. We're just starting the live stream. No, it's fine. And yeah, we hope to see you in a week's time. So from all of us here at Nukeshot Media, it's goodbye.
See ya.